Welcome to the Advice Show, media with the common sense approach. So once again, we're going to speak about Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton has been getting away with a whole lot of things, and the mainstream media don't want to speak on her because they're very pro Hillary Clinton. Now, they attack Donald Trump a lot. They wouldn't really give Bernie Sanders, as of recent, really any airtime. But we need to speak about this woman because this woman thinks she's going to fly underneath the radar and none of her stuff is going to be exposed. Now, Hillary Clinton, there's a video out of her and her husband speaking great about ex-Ku Klux Klan member Robert Byrd. Now, let's read something about Robert Byrd real quick before we find out how the Clintons just love this ex-KKK member. Now, Robert Byrd, this on his Wikipedia. It says, in the early 1940s, Byrd recruited 150 of his friends and associates to create a new chapter of the Ku Klux Klan in Sophia, West Virginia. According to Byrd, a Klan official told him, "You have a talent for leadership, Bob. The country needs young men like you in the leadership of the nation." Byrd later recalled, "Suddenly lights flashed in my mind. Someone important had recognized my abilities. I was only 23 or 24 years old, and the thought of a political career had never really hit me, but strike me that night it did." Byrd became a recruiter and leader of his chapter. When it came time to elect a top officer, an exalted Cyclops, in the local Klan unit, Byrd won unanimously. Now, in 1944, Byrd wrote to segregationalist Mississippi Senator Theodore G. Bilbo, and he stated, "I shall never fight in the armed forces with a Negro by my side. Rather, I should die 1,000 times and see Old Glory trampled in the dirt, never to rise again, than to see this beloved land of ours degraded by race mongrels or throw back to the blackest specimen from the wilds." Now, that's Robert C. Byrd, the person that Hillary Clinton, you will hear in the video, will speak so well of. Now, in 1946, Byrd wrote a letter to the Grand Wizard stating, "The Klan is needed today as never before, and I'm anxious to see his rebirth here in West Virginia and in every state in the nation." However, when running for the United States House of Representatives in 1952, he announced, "After about a year, I became disinterested, quit paying my dues, and dropped my membership in the organization. During the 9 years that followed, I have never been interested in the Klan." He said he joined the Klan because he felt it offered excitement and it was anti-communist. Now, this is the person that you're going to hear in this video Hillary Clinton and her husband is going to speak about. Now, I want you to hear the excuse her husband's going to give for this man of being in a Klan. Then we'll go on and get to Hillary. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
There are a lot of people who wrote these eulogies for Senator Byrd in the newspapers, and I read a bunch of them, and they mentioned that he once had a fleeting association with the Ku Klux Klan. And what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. He was a country boy from the hills and hollows of West Virginia. He was trying to get elected, and maybe he did something he shouldn't have done, and he spent the rest of his life making it up. And that's what a good person does. There are no perfect people. There are certainly no perfect politicians.
Today, our country has lost a true American original, my friend and mentor, Robert C. Byrd. Senator Byrd was a man of surpassing eloquence and nobility, and I will remember him for many things, but most of all, for a heartfelt comment he made to me in the dark days following the attack on our country on 9/11. My state of New York was reeling, and we were scrambling to provide support and relief. "Think of me as the third senator from New York," he said, and he meant it. Thanks to the leadership of Senator Byrd, who chaired the Appropriations Committee, New Yorkers and Americans got the help we needed. I will never forget his devotion and his friendship in that critical time. It is almost impossible to imagine the United States Senate without Robert Byrd. He was not just its longest serving member, he was its heart, its soul, and its historian. From my first day in the Senate, I sought out his guidance, and he was always generous with his time and his wisdom. I admired his tireless advocacy for his West Virginia constituents, his fierce defense of the Constitution and the traditions of the Senate, and his passion for a government that improves the lives of the people it serves. As Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. I've been grateful for the support he provided as a leader of the Appropriations Committee to our diplomats and development workers as they serve our country and advance our interests all over the world. Robert C. Byrd led by the power of his example, and he made all of us who had the honor of serving as his colleagues better public servants and better citizens. After more than 5 decades of service, he left an indelible imprint on the Senate, on West Virginia, and on our nation. We will not see his like again. I am heartened to know that Senator Byrd is now reunited with his beloved Irma, the high school sweetheart who became his wife of nearly 70 years, the love and light of his life. My thoughts and prayers are with their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Robert C. Byrd left such a legacy.
So Bill Clinton made an excuse. As always, you know how it is. There's always an excuse for everybody else except certain individuals, people like myself. It's an excuse to why he joined the Klan. No, it's not an excuse. He wanted to join the Klan. He knew what it was about. He said he didn't want to fight in a war next to black people. And I never understood why black people even fought in wars in that time period, because I know good and well I wouldn't join none of the military. For what? You're not going to sit up here and hang me and call me N-word and tell me I can't drink at a water fountain. I can't have this. And I'm going to fight in a war for you. You crazy? But anyway, that's I don't understand some black people. This man is just giving an excuse. But that's your so-called first black president. You remember he said he was black. He's a black person. You remember how dumb some black people were for saying that crap? And then this guy got most of your kids locked up. Now, you would take Hillary Clinton. Oh, she's praising this guy. He's a mentor. He's this, he's that. And the mainstream media is not jumping on this. Now, this is a question. Why is it that Donald Trump was reamed for David Duke stating his opinion about him? You remember that? You remember when they was telling him to disavow David Duke because David Duke was in the Klan? Oh, you don't remember that? Okay, let's roll that real quick.
Condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, you know, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I'd have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them, and certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. But you may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups, and I'll let you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan here, but...
I don't know, honestly, I don't know David Duke. I don't believe I've ever met him. I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him, and I just don't know anything about him.
Now, this is not me defending Donald Trump. I don't like what Donald Trump stands for. But at the same time, it's not right to go after Donald Trump and you don't dare go after Hillary Clinton for having a love and infatuation of her mentor, Robert Byrd, who was a Cyclops in the Klan. Cyclops is higher than the Grand Wizards. At least from what I read, I could be wrong, but I don't know about the hierarchy of the savages could change, so they do what they want to do. But he was pretty high up. Okay. He wasn't a low-ranking member of the Klan. Now, I saw David Duke's response to all the stuff with his name in it. And that man said that Robert Byrd was a Klansman for 12 years. And he was only a Klansman, I think, about 2 or 3 years. That's it. So they went after Donald Trump so hard, okay, to disavow David Duke. But this woman and her husband defending this guy, know he was in the Klan, and nobody say disavow. Nobody. This man even worked in the administration with President Obama, which I'm pretty sure, based on how Hillary's talking, she probably talked that man into that job. I'm pretty sure she did that. But why is it that Hillary and Bill can get away with having an association with an ex-Klan member? Why is that? But yet this woman is supposed to love black people, right? She should get the black vote. She's for civil rights. She's for all this stuff. This woman is a fraud. This woman is a joke. And you would be silly to go out and vote for this woman. And I'm talking about silly on the choice, not silly as a person. Because knowing that this woman is a liar, knowing that this woman's a fraud, knowing that this woman has a close tie with racist people, people who are black phobic. Remember, she was a Goldwater girl. Remember that in the last video we talked about? She was proud of that. Now, you notice that she has a history of this. She works for the Goldwater campaign, who wanted to get rid of the Civil Rights Act and take it back to Jim Crow. Then she's buddy with a Cyclops in the Klan, who then eventually got out the Klan and, you know, went on to do his political career. But nobody says a word about that. So you got two major figures who are highly racist, black phobic, whatever word you want to use, and nobody says anything to Hillary Clinton. Let me tell you something. And see how I found this out. If y'all sit here and put this woman as your representative in a Democratic Party, Donald Trump is going to eviscerate that woman. I promise you that. Because Donald Trump is going to pull every video like this out and put her on blast, and there's nothing she's going to be able to say about it. Nothing. Donald Trump is going to cream that woman because there's too much dirt on her out here. Her and her husband. Both of them. That woman can't win no election against Trump. I'm telling you she won't. Trump get that nomination and y'all put Hillary up there, I promise you, Trump going to be your next president. Because Hillary got too much dirt and Trump have no problem throwing out their dirt. He don't. He won't hold back not one time on Hillary. And Hillary will be, and then she's going to try to pull a woman card. Well, why he just being, man, forget that. You stepping on that platform, you got to deal with the abuse. And the abuse is going to come your ways based off of what you do. So really think about it. If you're going to vote Democrat, the only option you have is Bernie Sanders. That is it. Because he can't do that to Bernie Sanders, but he for sure can do that to Hillary. And actually, he's worried more about Bernie Sanders than Hillary now. Pay attention to Trump's rhetoric. Everything is Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders. Why? Because he's worried. He can't defeat Bernie Sanders. All the numbers say he can't. But he sure can defeat Hillary, and he will eviscerate her. So when you go out to vote tomorrow in the polls, make sure you think about the lies of Hillary Clinton. Her being a fraud, her having ties to people who are highly black phobic, a person who was in the Klan and Cyclops at that. And that's the people that was her mentor and her friend. But yet she wants to do so much for black people. You know, it kind of reminds me of a scripture. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Make sure you support independent media, which is a grassroots movement. There's a link in the description box to our Patreon. Hit me up in the comments, future commentaries, subscribe.